Okay, so what we're really trying to do is to use a race card to pick out certain selections using the favourite stats, and by doing this we're going to build up a picture of the race and all of those runners who are competing within that race. And the way we're going to do that is by looking at certain criteria such as ground, course, distance, price of the horse and the competition within that race. And what we're trying to do is to build up positives and negatives for the selection itself and for the other runners within that race. So let's just run through that now and I'll show you an example. Okay, so we're just going to run through Racing Post site. We're going to go straight for Hexam, favourite stats, bring those down. So we're going to look to lay selection, concentrate on handicap races. You'll find there'll be lower percentages here, and the obvious one we can see is 19%. If I can highlight that column is chase, so we're looking for a chase handicap or handicap chase if you prefer. Here's Hexam, handicap chase, hurdle, novice, handicap chase, 330. So if we just click on that, scroll down, we're looking for the favourite straight away, Bean Lad. Okay. Next thing you need to do, jump over to Betfair, and we can see his favourite on Betfair, 5.5 to back, 5.6 to lay. Click on that. Let's just say we're playing it safe with £10. We can see £46 liability. Okay. If we jump back to the Racing Post, click on the horse, we'll get some stats. If you click here on statistics, you will see all of the horse's data here. So you can go through and you can match today's course, which you know is Hexam. So nothing there. So distance, which is 2 mile 4, 110 yards, so nearly 2.5. As we can see, he's had 3 here, 1 here. He's won a 2.4, and he's had a second and a third. The ground is good. Scroll down here, we can see out of 7 he's won 3 on the good, so he doesn't seem to mind the ground. So we've looked at course, distance, ground, but he is the favourite, and we know by favourite stats that he's got a low chance and low percentage to win. We head back across, we can see there's a decent amount of competition within the race. If you look at these odds here, quite closely bunched together all the way down around here. As you can see, long shot at 30 there. Normally horses within the top 3, 4 in the betting will actually win the race. Okay, so something else just to bear in mind and consider when you're making these selections. If you have a look at the race card and you click here on comments, you will see that we have notes on every single runner within this particular race. Now, the best way to use this is to read through every horse here and kind of read between the lines really, and take this as a general overview. Now, the horse which obviously we're going to be laying is Beanie Lad, and if you have a read here, we can kind of build up a picture of the type of horses who are also running within the race, and to see if there's actually a decent amount of competition for our lay selection. So this first one here, Baltic Pathfinder, plenty in favour, should go well, returning to the scene of Soul Win. We have our horse here which we've decided to lay, plenty in favour and should give a good account. So that's a positive comment obviously. The one above is a positive comment. The next horse, Guns and Butter, not at very best of late and needs to raise his game. So looking for this horse to actually improve. Harry Flashman, plenty in favour and interesting after break. Another positive. Hockenheim, ideally suited by mud and best watched on quick ground, so a negative here for this horse. King of the Castle, only won once and pulled up sole previous chase run, opposable, so not the best for that horse. And if you just keep going down, you'll see here, winner here, not fully exposed, couldn't rule him out. Next one down, broke losing run last time and should go well, 2 positives there. Dual course and winner distance, but again, he's a dual course and distance winner, so he should run well. The next horse here, lengthy losing run to overcome and needs to improve, so a negative. And the next two, conditions to suit, not without a chance of back to best, so a positive here. The last horse here, capable at best but disappointing in the last 2 years, so I think if you have a read through that, you can kind of see that there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 horses which have got a good chance within this race, so quite a tight affair really, and obviously our layer there. So I just wanted to show you that. It's just so you can build up a more in-depth kind of picture of the race, and the more you kind of look into things, you'll find that you'll be more confident with your selection. You'll find more positives for other runners within the race and more negatives for your selection, and that's really what you're looking for, so that you can put your money down with confidence to say, yeah, that's the layer selection. I know that I've got 3, possibly 4 good runners in there who are going to give him a run for his money, and I'm confident with that selection. And that's all you need to do. So we'll lay that horse and we'll check out how he gets on later on. If we then head over to the software, I just want to show you this quickly on the software, how we would do it. If I was going down looking at the ratings straight away, top 2 selections, we normally have a very good winning percentage on these. So as you can see, he's sitting here on 7, and if you look at the ratings, you can see there's a lot of competition within this particular race, all the way down really. Now for this particular system and where we're actually going to be picking them out, this would be fine. Obviously if you were sitting up here, then I'd probably look elsewhere. We then have the benefit of the race overview. Now when you look at this, what this actually tells you is ground winning percentages, all the different percentages here. You can see obviously anything in green, 2 out of 2, 2 out of 2, 1 out of 2, 3 out of 8. These are all the percentages for what the horse has actually competed on, particular course, ground, winning percentage and everything here to its result. So this gives you like a build up of what's happening within the race as well. Obviously the zeros are all negatives, and the higher the figure up to 100 the better. So if we look at him, 33, 33, 33, 100 on here, this is out of 1 and 3 and so forth. We can then go back, nothing to be worried about too much there, I wouldn't have thought. If we go back and select the horse itself, we look at details. Obviously this gives you a whole host of stats and statistics to look at. But if we scroll down, we can see here, by combining, we know he hasn't run out of the course, the ground and the distance, we can see here that one result good at this particular distance with the jockey. Anything in blue matches today's criteria. If I put class in, it'll disappear. If I take the distance back off, we can see here, here's the results. And race type, which is important, we can see you won that one. The software actually breaks down combined stats, so out of these 2 criteria I've got match here, which is going and race type, you can see the result 4 and 1, 24 days since last run, and it matches today on good, and class 4, which was race before last, chase and jockey. So that's another way to use the software, just to see how the horse has done. and let's see how he gets on.
Place. Then 2 lengths to Orduda, who's making ground just behind Ocarina. 3 lengths then back to the next Baltic Pathfinder and Guns and Butter. Persian Prince has dropped away quickly. On towards the next. Persian Prince pulled up before taking 4 from home, and then Montoya's Son and Mr. Goofy landed together. 3 lengths back to Harry Flashman, a similar gap back to Ocarina in 4th place. Then comes Benny Ladd as they race then towards the end of the back straight. They have 3 more fences to take. Montoya's Son, Mr. Goofy, by 3 lengths from Harry Flashman, only half a length to Ocarina, and a length behind them as they race towards the end of the back straight is Orduda, who's made ground from the back of the field as they jump the open ditch. The 2 leaders once again locked together. Ocarina hit it hard when trying to improve, and it's Montoya's Son who landed in front as they go towards the last down the back 2 from home. Montoya's Son by a length from Mr. Goofy. Montoya's Son stumbling rather on landing, and Mr. Goofy's almost back up sides, and Harry Flashman is rallying to be right in behind them. There's 3 lengths to Ocarina, then 2 lengths to Orduda, and this group are clear of the others as they make the run uphill towards the home straight, and Montoya's Son is back in front as they swing the corner and head for home. A length clear from in second Harry Flashman. Mr. Goofy's run his race now. He's dropping back 4 lengths away, pressed by Ocarina and Orduda, and they're clear of Baltic Pathfinder as they race towards the final fence, and Harry Flashman is coming right up sides Montoya's Son. They take the last as 1. 8 lengths back to Mr. Goofy and Orduda, and then comes Ocarina, but it's Harry Flashman who goes so well here at Hexam. He's already had 3 course wins in the past, and this could be number 4. He's having to be kept up to his work. Montoya's Son stays on for pressure in second, but there's still a 2-length gap at the line, and it's Harry Flashman, ridden out by Peter Buchanan, goes on to beat Montoya's Son in second. Orduda got up for third, then came Ocarina, and Mr. Goofy was behind them. Looks like the rider lost his irons.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mark. Harry Flashman, as Mark said in his call, he just loves it here, doesn't he? He does, and he's
So if we have a look at Plumpton and we go to favourites, just pull that down. First one we see is 30% handicap hurdle. Close that down. Now, there's this race here, there's one here, and there's one here at the bottom. Now, I know the price is too high on this one, so we're just going to check this out. $4.50, and a nice short one here, Citrus Mark. Head over to Betfair, and there it is, 2.38, which would give you liability of $13.80 for a £10 lay, which is good. If we have a look at the horse itself, we know by the favourite stats that it's got a lower chance of winning straight away, which is what we're looking for. It's only had 5 runs, this horse, so we have to be careful. Same jockey. Okay, so if we check on statistics, let's just have a look. Best thing to always do is check against course, distance, going, just to see if there's any patterns we can see straight away. Obviously it's only had 5 races, and if we have a look here, Plumpton, it's had 1 start, nothing here. Distance, which today is 2 mile 2, so 2 mile 110 yards, that's close enough. You can see it hasn't won anything there. The ground conditions for today are good to firm, and we can see here it's 1 on good. If we look at the class, today's class is class 5. As you can see, it's running class 3, most of it's racing in class 4, and 1 here in class 5. And it hasn't actually won a race here, it's won a class 4. So if we're just going by the favourites percentages, we can then go ahead and lay that horse, and let's see how it gets on. If you go back to the software, if you were looking at this race and you went to 1650, actually just before we do that, if we just check out some of the competition. Now, it's entirely up to you which way you want to do this. Like I mentioned in the other video, if you click on comments and you scroll down, you can read through these here And this horse here ran quite well here last time, but £5 out of handicap today. The next one in very poor form this season, so not the best comments to start with. The horse we're looking to lay, Citrus Mark, off the mark of recent handicap, debut, and only upped £4. The next one in good form last autumn, but poor recent stable debut. The next horse here, December, looks harshly treated for handicap debut. Drawback, below best 4 outings after long absence. Just Beware, won here in November, went close again last time. Certainly the best one so far. And Sovereign Spirit, good effort, penultimate outing, but needs further. Okay, so a bit of a mixed bag of reviews, I would say there. So if you then want to make further checks, which I do suggest that you actually do, click on the horse itself, the first one here, and if you go to stats, scroll down, and again you're looking to match the course, distance, going and class to what's happening today. So if we look for the course, we can see nothing there. Distance, it's 2 mile 2. Scroll down, he's got 2 mile 93, and he's only done that once. As you can see, he's got no wins at all there, no seconds, no thirds. So not much competition so far. The ground's good. He's had one start on that. He's run on good to firm as well. So that tells me that the ground shouldn't be a problem for him. And if you look a little bit further down, if we look at the class, you can see again he's had no wins here, and he's been all the way from class 4, 5, class 6, obviously he started at class 7 as well. So that's the first one. And if we just look at the next one, Airedale Lad, again click on stats, check him out. See, he's running quite a lot of courses, not at this particular course though. The distance, 2 mile 2. You can see the furthest he's actually ran is 1.5. Again, no wins. So it's telling me straight away that the first two in the betting here, it's quite an open looking race, and from what we've read in the comments, there's not a great deal to go on. So it looks like it could be anybody's race really. Scroll down again, you can see the class, he's had no wins either, and it's just a case of actually working through each horse like this. You know, you can even take notes if you wish, mark them down on paper, just positives, negatives, if you want to tick a box, anything like that, just so you can have something to look at to build up a clearer idea in your mind of the overall picture of the race, how it might possibly pan out. Again, we'll just check this one out. Distance, again, he's only run 1.3, so he hasn't made this distance as yet. The ground, good to firm he's run on, and you can see the class down here, class 5, he's won on a class 5. And if we go back down here, this horse here, Sovereign Spirit, let's have a check of him. It said that he needs further. Stats again, nothing at the course there. You can see this horse has actually run 2 miles and 2 mile plus. He's won at 1.5. We'll check out the going. Good. He's had 3 starts, and the class he's ran in a class 5 before, he hasn't won, but he has come third. So by doing all this, like I say, we can kind of see the competition within this particular race. So we know that the lay is nicely priced. He's very cheap liability for us, and by what I've actually read here and what I've seen with these particular horses, it certainly seems like more or less anybody's race, apart from the couple here who've been really bad. This one here, and let's have a look. Drawback. He's had a long absence, drawback, so that's obviously a negative is going to go against the horse. So let's just see what happens, see how the race pans out, and like I said earlier, the reason why we've picked this particular selection is that we've gone through, we've looked at the favourite stats, and this race qualifies. This horse is the favourite, so we've looked at that in more detail, and then we'll just lay that horse and see how he gets on. As we can see, it's the second horse in the betting. Now, if we were looking at top 2 winners, you may have an argument to say that this horse would qualify as possibly one horse we would look to back. But seeing as we're using the system of favoured percentages, and if we look here, we can see there's one horse obviously with a bigger score than this horse, and if we look down, we see there's a little bit of competition here as well. Okay, price wise, obviously these are the 2 short ones, but we have got another 4 horses here which aren't too far away. If we check out the overview menu, we'll just have a look. This one here stands out straight away. 2 out of 2. If you look at the one we're looking to lay, you can see it's got zeros across the board. And if you look here, race type winning percentage, race type place percentage, you can see that's the only thing it's actually got a positive score for. This one here, half decent. This one here, and a couple going on here. Okay. If we also just check the horse's details actually, which I could have done from the other page, we just have a quick look. We scroll down, and as you can see, anything in blue, I don't even really need to use the filters on this because I can see exactly what's what. Plumpton here, hurdles, same jockey, the weight. As you can see, it's fluctuated up and down, and it won last time out. Let's see how he gets on. Hence, obviously by winning here last time out, that's why he's at a shorter price today.
First to begin, and also racing prominently, is Airedale Lad as they get over flight number 1. They all negotiated that one safely. A little bit slower than the others was Citrus Mark towards the rear. They're climbing the hill towards the backstretch for the first time, and Bridge of Fermoy and Airedale Lad continue to share the pace, leading by a length to Clune Avery, who races behind the leaders with Just Beware, sitting towards that one's outside. Pretty much 2 by 2 as they head into the backstretch for the first time and head off towards flight number 2. Bridge of Fermoy in front narrowly to Airedale Lad racing second, and then Clune Avery is taking a little bit of a strong hold for Liam Treadwell towards the inside of Just Beware as they pop over the first down the far side. They were followed by Sovereign Spirit, who's sitting towards the outside of runners, and then Drawback. December races towards the rear, and so too does Citrus Mark as the leader. Bridge of Fermoy travels down the far side towards the next, which is going to be flight number 3. Bridge of Fermoy then in front by about a half length to Airedale Lad racing second. Just Beware out wide of runners, and Clune Avery towards the inside. Closely grouped behind, followed by Drawback, who's further towards the rail. Deeper out on the course then, as they reach the next is December, and also racing wide Sovereign Spirit, and the back marker is Citrus Mark. Only about 7 off the leaders, which continue to be Bridge of Fermoy and Airedale Lad. They've taken 3 of the 10 which they'll take in total, and they're turning towards the home straight for the first time in the Plumpton Racecourse.co.uk handicap hurdle race. Bridge of Fermoy still leads by a neck to in second Airedale Lad, then 2 lengths to Just Beware, who continues to race behind the pace. Then on the inside Clune Avery. The first in the home straight then, flight number 4. And they've all landed safely on the other side, although Drawback got reminders on landing from Chris Timmins. And now they go down to the flight, which in a circus town will be the last. Flight 5 this time. Bridge of Fermoy and Airedale Lad rise and land together. Just Beware behind the leaders from Clune Avery. Then Drawback towards the rail. A couple of lengths behind those races the blue and white of Sovereign Spirit. That one's racing in company with December and also Citrus Mark. So they pass the winning post. They're heading off towards the next flight. This is going to be flight number 6. And as they head down towards it, it's Bridge of Fermoy and Airedale Lad. They rise and land together, and they head up the hill towards the backstretch. Airedale Lad goes on by a neck to Bridge of Fermoy, 2 lengths back to Just Beware, followed on the inside by Clune Avery as they take that turn, and they're followed by December making ground on the outside of Drawback. Into the backstretch they go, pace quickening all the while as they continue down towards flights 7 and 8. 4 flights left to take in total, and Bridge of Fermoy and Airedale Lad have made all so far, and they continue to show the way by 2 lengths to in third place Just Beware, and then on the inside Clune Avery's trying to ease its way a little bit closer to the leaders. Airedale Lad trying to inject some more pace. Bridge of Fermoy tries to stay with him. Just Beware behind them with Clune Avery that whips out behind. Drawback gets a reminder. On the move from the rear is Citrus Mark, wide of that December, and the back marker is now Sovereign Spirit, and that one's dropped off the pace by about 6 lengths. So they go down towards the third last flight of hurdles, flight number 8, and it was Airedale Lad who got over in front, but quickly joined by Just Beware. 2.5 back to Clune Avery with the improving Citrus Mark as they take the turn towards the home straight. Then 2 flights of hurdles left to go, and it's Airedale Lad on the front end trying to repel them. Airedale Lad in front, then by a half to Just Beware. Right in behind them now is Citrus Mark in third, still swinging the turn back towards home. These 3 have quickened away from the remainder. Down the straight they come then towards the second last flight. Airedale Lad in the centre, Just Beware near side, sticking towards the inside. In third is Citrus Mark, and over the second last Gemma Gracie Davison on the near side. Just Beware is ranging upside Airedale Lad and Mr. J. Banks. 1 flight of hurdles left to go then. At it now, Airedale Lad landed by a head. Just Beware towards the near side. Back in third is Citrus Mark. They're inside the final half furlong, driven right out. Airedale Lad trying to repel them all, and Airedale Lad is going on to score. Airedale Lad won it. It was tight for second. Citrus Mark went past with Just Beware, and a gap to the fourth.
Yeah, thanks, Malcolm. Airedale Lad